And welcome back to one of my favorite tracks on the road to 2K iRating. Here we are at Sebring. It's where I got my first win, an endurance win, the 12 hours of Sebring. That was in a GT3 car. The Mercedes, if I'm not mistaken, could be the BMW. I don't quite remember. Here we are today in the Formula 3 car. You know, usually we've been in the Super Formula Lights vehicle, which is, I would say, easier to drive. This one is definitely more squirrely. If you get on the throttle a little early, this one slides out a little bit more. It's not difficult to tame, this one. It's still a relatively easy drive. It's an entry-level Formula vehicle, but it is much more difficult than the SFL. But it's also more fun, and so I had a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite tracks, as I said. I had a lot of fun this weekend, or this week, I should say. I threw away a pretty good result yesterday, but here we are again today in top split. I say top split. There's only two. The average SOF here was 2100, and I started the race at 15 something. I'm not going to spoil it like I do every other video. I think I kind of want to let this one ride out. This was my first qualifying lap, and you'll see, you know, the first lap is going to be slow regardless. It's not really until the second, it's not really until the second flying lap that I am really dialed in, that I have the temperatures, that I have the confidence, that I'm feeling it. And so the first flying lap is kind of a feeler, and unfortunately, in the second one, I just haven't been able to click in quali the past couple weeks. I was really strong in Hungary. I was flying. I put it on pole, I think, twice. And outside of that, I just have not been able to sync it up in quali. So here's the start of the second lap. And, you know, we're barely getting to the exit of the track, barely getting to the curb, barely using all the track. Here we are, using more of it. We're feeling good. I think we're up quite a bit here. I think 2/10 of my PB at this point, and then we get on the curb, bottom out, and there's our qualifying done and dusted. And we ended up qualifying P8 was the final quali position, and we'll go ahead and go to the race. Here I am, P8 position. Looks like P10 has a better start than I do, P9 as well. But really, not a terrible start overall. The guy, P10, can't really get a run on either of us, but he's going to try to go 3 wide here into turn 1. You know, I'm leaving way too much space. That's a theme. Both of us are leaving too much space here. There's like 2 cars could fit there. I'm still nervous. I can't see what is to my left, and so I'm leaving a shit ton of space. But, you know, I could be right behind red car up into P7 right here, and I'm just not taking advantage of it. And, here we go. We're going to go into the chase cam. Still P7. Or P8, sorry. And we got a lot of vehicles in front of us. This is one of my favorite turns. Early on the throttle if you can. You can catch a lot of people out. Coming up right here. I get a couple overtakes done coming up at this turn. Obviously not in lap 1. I'm too far back. But you'll see me. I'm going to claw through the field here. And, you know, there's going to be some fortune that comes my way. I'm definitely getting lucky in this race. But, you know, you got to be ready for the luck when it comes, and I've been unlucky recently, and so I'm glad it's finally falling my way. But just sit back, relax for a little bit, enjoy the first part of the race, at least until I catch up to these guys. But like I said, it was 2100 SOF. I'm 1500, but I have the pace here. I think if I had a good, not even a PB quali lap, but a good quali lap, I'd be P5, which is pretty solid. So I'm feeling good around this track. Like I said, it's one of my favorite tracks. First time in the car in a long time in this specific vehicle. You know, I've been doing SFL, like I said, but I haven't been in the F3 since Hockenheim last year. Like, I want to say over 12 months ago. It's actually the first road to 2K iRating. I just realized that, and so we can check the date later on that. But that's also one of my favorite turns right there, is that turn 1 at Sebring, just hooking it up nicely. Didn't get it that lap, but I did better than the people in front as I'm on the tail of the guy in red here. And there's a lot of people to go through. And it's hard to overtake here. It really is. Like, you would think this hairpin up here is a good overtaking opportunity. And it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. But it's not like other braking zones I've noticed. It's kind of difficult to get a good run following the person behind to set up that braking zone. I think I go for a move here. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. And so here's where I kind of make my money. I'm more confident, at least in the first part of the race, than a lot of the other guys. And that's something I've kind of struggled with, is the confidence early on in the race especially. And so I'm glad, try to put that ghost away as he's back on my tail. Didn't get a good exit there, and so he's going to be right on me. And I wonder, is he going to overtake me again? I do not remember. I get a better exit there. And now we just keep clawing away. It looks like the front runners are running away from us, and P1 definitely is. P1 is flying. He is far and away the fastest guy in the lobby, and there's no chance anyone catches him. So the rest of us, we're fighting for P2 effectively. And you look at me right now and you're like, bro, you're barely fighting for P8. And that may be true at the moment. That is a pretty large gap in front, but a decent number of clean air. And look, one bites the dust right there. There's one. So up to, if I've overtaken the guy in front, that's P7. So up to P6 now. And so we just like that, lap 2 already in 6th place, with potentially 5 more people to overtake. And obviously we're not going to get that. But the gap closing in. Like I said, this hairpin you can't overtake. Obviously I'm fucking miles back, but I am faster than a lot of people here. I think I'm earlier on the throttle. I have good braking application there, I think, is the big one. I noticed the guy behind me, the guy in front of me, most of the race, I was gaining a lot of time there, whereas other parts of the track maybe I wasn't, but there definitely was. That corner too is a little squirrely sometimes. Sometimes you just feel like it's real loose. But if you trust it, I mean, it's gonna stick. It's just gonna feel a little sketchy. And so you just gotta throttle down, keep chasing, and that's what we're gonna do throughout the majority of this race, is keep chasing, And you can see the gap slowly but surely, it's coming in. There is a bit of traffic up there, and so whoever is up there, P3, P2, or whatever, may not really be able to unleash their pace, which is holding kind of everyone back, which is allowing me to crawl in there slowly but surely. And we're just going to keep watching that unfold. This turn right here, I think I took it differently than everyone else, and I think I took it differently every time. I really can't seem to get a good grasp of it. And that was something I really struggled with in the endurance win as well. It's 12 hours. It was me and my friend Technic Speedy, and he did 6 hours, I did 6 hours. I don't think I took that turn the same way once. Every single time. For 6 hours, here we go, here's a big crash. 2 people. I get a little nervous there, I brake quite heavily, which I should. But look, now we're right behind this guy. And so what is that now, P4 or something crazy? Yeah, P4, because P1's miles up. And so we're just going to keep trucking along. P4, we're almost in a podium position already. But I think this guy behind me, it's not the red car anymore. It's a faster guy. And so we're going to see, is he going to be able to overtake me? I can feel the pressure, but I'm putting pressure on this guy. This guy right here was the guy holding everyone up. And so if I was catching up to them slowly, I know I have the pace in this guy. I know I can overtake him, or at least catch up to him, hold on to him. And even if I get overtaken, that's fine. I know I'm going to be able to crawl my way back. But back to what I was saying. Sebring, 6 hours. In my 6-hour stint, I was terrified every single lap of that turn, that it was just going to throw the rear on me and I was going to go into the barrier and ruin the win. The last lap especially was terrifying. It's just it feels like such an inconsistent turn. Doesn't feel like if I'm hitting it, I'm trying to hit it the same way, and sometimes I hit it and I just feel like I'm on rails and I'm connected to the track, and it just feels good. And then sometimes I feel like I'm just gonna fly out and kill myself. And with someone, going on your inside there, you don't really think about it. You just think about surviving it, and it really wasn't that bad. But we're gonna keep on chugging along. I really do like my livery. I didn't turn it on for anyone else, but this is one of my favorite liveries on the service, I think, out of all the cars that I drive. I'm not particularly fond of my SFL livery. I think it's fine, definitely serviceable, but this is, if I had a car, this is what I would run. And so we're just waiting, waiting. Really waiting for the guy that overtook me to put some pressure on the guy in front. Try to slow him down, and then we'll get a good catch up on him. But so far, it just doesn't seem like it's happening. It looks like I'm going to get a run on him. And I could have gone for a deep lunge there, decided against it. Fortunately. There were a couple moments in here. There's one moment in particular that was a little code brown. But, we all survived. And that's really all you can ask for. And you look up the road. They're battling it out. I don't know if that's a lapped vehicle or not, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I think that's just first place. Or second place. I really don't know if that's a lap vehicle, to be honest. First place looked like it was miles ahead. I don't remember being in P5 at this point. Oh, yeah, dude, look. There goes that guy. I kind of want... Yes, I remember this. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So I was in P6 that lap, not P5. I thought I was in P4 at one point, actually. We're gonna... Pierre. What are you going for, Pierre? Oh, you're going too wide. There's contact. That guy spins out. And then you're holding the brakes. Probably should have just held him on there a little bit harder, because just collected. And so here's Parker. Parker is second fastest guy here. Nathan was pissed off. So we're just going to keep on chasing. That was a slow lap there, 55.3, but we broke hard at the end. And all of a sudden, I think, what are we? P3. What can we do? Can we get P2? Can we stay P3? What's going to happen here? We're clearly faster than the guy in front, but it's close. It's not like a Max Verstappen on any of his teammates domination. It's Charles and Carlos from last year or the previous year, where Carlos could beat him. Carlos is close, but Charles is the faster guy. I don't want to compare myself to Charles. That's a little bit extreme, but I think that's sort of the relationship here. We're close. This guy could definitely beat me, but I think if we race 10 times, I'm going to beat him 7 times. And so we're going to see what time is it this race, this Sebring split. How will I do? And we got a fast guy riding our tail. And to be honest, I know I do it every time, but I'm tired. Not of watching this. I'm actually enjoying it. But I just want to see a little bit more of the race, a little bit more of the action. This guy, we're both struggling here. And there Peter Parker goes to climb up. How many laps do we have? That was only lap 7, so we got quite a few laps left. And look, they're kind of running away a little bit. I think this guy likes being hunted. He's one of those guys, you drive faster when you're hunted versus when you're being the huntee. And then now we're back in it. Now what can we do here? Can we Can we put some pressure on him? He clearly drove faster when he was being hunted by a super fast guy. What can we do? And it's going to be a good battle to the end of the race. And I don't know how it's going to turn out. Obviously I do, but you guys don't. And again, we're going to speed up because I don't give a fuck. We'll probably just do 2x speed, to be honest. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know why it goes silent when it does that. But you see the sun is coming out on this beautiful Florida track. Beautiful in Florida. It's a little bit of an oxymoron. Not really. I mean, it is pretty, but it is Florida. It is Florida. And this guy, he's just slow. He doesn't know how to take this turn. And this is the moment I was talking about where it just gets a little dicey. I have to run wider there and get more speed if I can take this guy. Because he is... We're faster at different parts of the track as well. And I'm going to go on the inside. I'm going to try and then... In the cockpit, that actually looked way fucking closer. Sorry, we're rewinding. Into the cockpit cam. So into cockpit cam, I'm going on the inside, I think. And then, yeah, that looked super close in the cockpit cam. I like this cam. Let's kind of stick with this for a second. Much more enjoyable, I think, than the Super Formula with the halo in the way. Obviously, I get the halo pillar out, and this thing has some dumb antenna. But you don't have that top-down kind of suppression, which is nice. Here I am. Good on the brakes. He's not. I'm going to get a good run. I'm a little bit scared. I'm going to try to go on his inside here. I'm going to trust him. And I can't see a damn thing. But he's way further out than I thought he was. And again, it's just hard to really tell where people are here. And from this moment on, it's all about keeping him behind. All about keeping him behind. Can I do it? We're faster in different parts of the track, but I know overall I've been the quicker guy throughout this race. How's it going to turn out though? Look, he's just going to be on my tail here, especially here. I get a slightly better launch. I'm trying to break a little bit of a toe. The toe is decently strong here on this back straight. And P2 is flown away. P1 is even further up. Yeah, look at that toe. Is he going to go for it? Nah, he doesn't have the balls. And I get a pretty good exit here. Look how bumpy that is. Unsettles the car, dude. If this was in like a current day F1 car, that thing would be into the wall. So bumpy. You're losing all that grip, that aero grip. And you hear him bouncing around too. It's just such a really uncomfortable drive. My wheel was shaking the whole time. And then you get used to it, you know, it kind of blends into the background. But those first couple laps, as I am dreadfully slow in this section of the track, and he's just quicker there. And I think he does, yeah, he does get a pretty good run on me. And I think he even overtakes me. Yeah, I go for kind of a dumb move. Or I go for a dumb play there. Like, I just need to be able to go the inside. I know I'm faster than this guy, but whatever. And so I think I get it right back. This is kind of where my bread and butter is. I'm confident in this corner, probably more than any other corner. And I just need to show it. Hold down the throttle, be confident, throw the car in, brake light and smooth, power early, third gear, power down, fly down this part of the track, into the part where I'm again slower than he is. And so it's kind of this cat and mouse back and forth game where, you know, we're trading spots where he's going to get close and then I'm going to pull away. But I'm faster in my spots than he is faster in his spots. So what ends up happening is if I gain 2/10 in one turn, he's gaining 1 in his turn. And so over the course of the lap, I'm getting 1 or 2/10. And so this 6/10 gap at the start of the lap is going to turn into an 8/10 gap. And then by the end of the race, it's like 1.2 or 1.4 or whatever it is, and really throughout the rest of the lap or the rest of the race, I do a 54.1 there, and I think I did another 54.1 high behind him earlier. I am just feeling good at this point in the lap or this point in the race, and I know I'm faster than this guy at this point. The gap is far. At this point, I'm actually catching the guy in front at about a tenth or two a lap. And if I had this pace, this kind of pace throughout the whole race, maybe we're fighting for P2. But ultimately, that obviously didn't happen. But I felt good. This was a 2100 SOF. Obviously, the road is to get to 2K, and then the road to 4K after that, or 3K, I guess we should say, and then 4K. But I needed this little confidence boost. I think it's easy to beat people that are 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 100K iRating and not feel anything about it. And I mean, these guys aren't crazy. The leader I think was like 3.7. This guy was 2.2, and I'm catching up to him. And so I'm feeling good. Like that's about where I belong right now. Is at my goal of 2K. And then we can really begin to improve. So right now it's just kind of catching up your iRating to the skill rank before we really put the hammer down and improve. Like my boy Shaggy Muffin, who's on that road to 4K. I think he's 3.3 right now. He's been flying. We were in a race yesterday. He helped me out quite a bit, but he got taken out right in front of me. He was unfortunate. Had to start in the pits, and then he made his way up to me. I think I was in P5 or P6. He made his way up to me, overtook me, and then was murdered. And it was quite unfortunate. And then I crashed myself out last lap. Would have been on for a great position. We'd probably be looking at about 1700 iRating right now, if that were the case. But unfortunately, it's not. I still gained like 16, just because the way it was seated. But here we are, final lap, and we're just gonna speed through it because we're ready to go to bed. To be completely honest, but you see, I'm catching him slowly, slowly, slowly. It's just not enough though. And we're going to see how safe I take it on this final turn. I lift so early. I'm braking early. I think I lose 2/10, 2 or 3, and lose 2 or 3 the person in front and the back. Because I'm just making sure I'm not crashing last lap again. That is not happening. Here we go. We bring it home. 3rd position for a gain of 97 iRating. It was a fun race. I don't think it was a fun watch. I want to start recording these while I drive, but that is a different beast. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and you'll probably see me again at Sebring is my guess. Peace.